Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel where your loose change could turn into a life-changing fortune. If you've ever rolled your eyes while picking up a penny from the ground, you might want to think twice after this video. Because today, we're diving into a small copper coin that's hiding a big secret. I'm talking about the 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, yeah, the one you've probably seen 100 times and never gave a second thought. But guess what? This humble little coin could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yup, that's not a typo. 1.8 million. For a single cent. So, grab your magnifying glass, check the bottom of your junk drawer, and hang tight, because we're going to uncover why this little coin is making big waves in the collector world. And hey, stick around to the end, because I've got a personal story that proves how close I came to tossing a small fortune in a coin jar. Alright, first off, let's set the scene. The year is 1967. The Beatles were topping charts, gas was 33 cents a gallon, and America was smack dab in the middle of some serious social and economic change. Meanwhile, the US Mint was cranking out Lincoln Memorial cents like nobody's business. 1967 was a transitional year. The Mint was still reeling from the coin shortage of the early 60s. In an effort to streamline production and discourage coin hoarding, the Mint stopped putting mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. That's right, Philly, Denver, San Francisco, all wiped clean. That's why your 1967 penny has no mint mark. So how can a coin that was mass-produced without a mint mark be worth almost $2 million? Not every 1967 penny is created equal. While billions were made, a very small number had what collectors call planchet errors. That's fancy talk for mistakes that happened when the coin was being made. Some were accidentally struck on silver dime planchets. Others had double dies, off-center strikes, or were struck using worn dies, creating dramatic errors in detail. And that is where the value comes in. Combine a rare error with a well-preserved condition, and boom, you've got a collector's dream, the most valuable of these 1967 no-mint mark pennies. It was a copper coin struck with a dramatic off-center error on a transitional planchet. This bad boy went to auction and fetched $1.8 million. Let that sink in. One tiny mistake at the Mint turned a copper coin into the kind of payday most of us only dream about. It should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it weighs more or less, that's a red flag. In a good way, check for unusual toning. Some rare planchet errors can have a silvery or ghostly tone. Look for doubling on Lincoln's I, the date, or the word Liberty. If it looks like it just came out of a roll, that's excellent. High-grade coins are worth the most. Grab a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass, take some time, and really give your coin a good look. Don't rush. Some of the most valuable errors are subtle. About 5 years ago, I was cleaning out my late uncle's old coin jar. He used to save every penny he ever got. This jar had everything from shiny brand new 2000s coins to crusty old ones from the 40s. Now, I'll admit, I was just gonna cash it all in at a coin machine. I mean, it was pennies, right? But something told me to slow down. Maybe it was a video like this one. Maybe it was just good gut instinct. So I started going through them one by one. That's when I found it, a 1967 penny with no mint mark. At first, I thought, cool, old coin, probably worth $1 or $2. But I held on to it anyway. Fast forward to a coin show a year later, and a dealer takes a peek. His eyebrows shot up like I just handed him gold bars. Turns out it had a slight double die error and was in near uncirculated condition. He offered me $1,700 on the spot. I kept it. Why? Because that little penny taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate what's rattling around in your change jar. And always look twice before you toss a coin aside. As of today, a verified 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with rare error features and high grade has fetched up to $1.8 million at private auctions. Even coins that aren't quite that pristine but have unique errors have gone for thousands. There's growing demand in the market for coins from the 60s and 70s because boomers and Gen Zers are starting to dig into nostalgia. Plus, newer collectors are jumping into the hobby thanks to viral videos and online auctions. In short, if you've got one of these rare 1967 pennies in good shape, you're sitting on an asset that could seriously change your life. We started this video with a simple question: can a 1967 penny with no mint mark really be worth $1.8 million? If it's got the right kind of error, is in exceptional condition, and you've got the know-how to recognize it, the next time you're out getting change from the store, or digging through a coin jar, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when you might stumble across $1 million mistake, and here's the deal: this channel is all about helping you uncover those hidden gems in your everyday change. From pennies to quarters, nickels to dollars, we break it all down in a way that's fun, simple, and possibly life-changing. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you've learned something, or if you're already eyeing your coin jar with suspicion, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell so you never miss a new upload, and give this video a thumbs up to help it reach more folks who might be sitting on treasure without even knowing it. And hey, drop a comment below if you have a 1967 penny. You never know, we might help you turn that cent into $1 million. Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just be your retirement plan. And today, oh boy, do we have a story that could turn your dusty old coin jar into a jackpot. Picture this: you're digging through your junk drawer, trying to find a rubber band or a rogue paperclip, and instead, you pull out a dirty little brown penny. Nothing special, right? Wrong. Because that penny, if it happens to be a 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln cent in the right condition, could be worth up to $1.7 million today. Yep, $1.7 million. For a single cent, try tipping someone with that and see how fast they chase you down. Now, before you throw your jeans in the laundry without checking the pockets, hang tight. In this video, we're gonna break down exactly why the 1988 no-mint mark penny is so valuable, how to spot the real deal, what makes it rare, and how you can cash in if you find one. And stick around because I've got a story from back in the day where I almost tossed away a coin worth thousands. I still lose sleep over it. So let's set the scene. It's 1988. Ronald Reagan just wrapped up his presidency, CDs were the future of music, and I had more hair and fewer responsibilities. Pennies were being minted by the millions, but not all of them were created equal. The U.S. Mint has a few branches: Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco. Each one stamps their coins with a tiny mint mark, like a little P, D, or S. But some pennies from Philly didn't get the mark at all. Normally, Philadelphia coins either have a P or nothing at all. But here's the kicker: it's not just the missing mint mark that makes this 1988 penny worth a fortune. It's something way sneakier, and more technical. Now we're talking about a very specific error. The 1988 no-mint mark penny that's worth the big bucks. It's known for what collectors call a reverse of 1989 error. Here's what that means. In 1988, the mint accidentally used a reverse die that was meant for the 1989 pennies. That's like putting the wrong back on a puzzle piece. It looks okay at first glance, but it's technically mismatched, and this mistake? It's almost invisible to the average eye. But if you know what to look for, you could strike it rich. The dead giveaway is on the letters FG, that's the designer's initials, located near the Lincoln Memorial on the back. On the normal 1988 penny, the G is curved and has more space from the building. On the 1989 reverse, it's sharper and closer. So if your 1988 penny has the 1989 reverse, ding ding ding, we have a potential winner. The coin must also be in mint state condition, which means no scratches, no pocket lint damage, no being used to scrape gum off your shoe. We're talking MS65 or higher, and that's what pushes the value up to the 7-figure mark. Now, not every 1988 no-mint mark penny is valuable. The error variety is extremely rare. Only a handful have been authenticated by major grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and the higher the grade, the higher the payday point. One of the best preserved examples of this penny, graded MS67, was auctioned for over $1.7 million. That's not a typo. That's a house. Maybe even two, depending on where you live, and if you're someone who collects coins, or just holds on to old change because you might need it someday, your odds are better than someone who cashes in every penny at the Coinstar.so. Now that we've got your curiosity doing backflips, here's how to check your 1988 pennies. Find them. Look in change jars, old piggy banks, desk drawers, coat pockets. Don't overlook your glove box either. I found a 1943 steel penny in mine once, and I still don't know how it got there. Use a magnifying glass, or better yet, a USB microscope. These are cheap online and worth every penny if you're getting into this hobby. Flip that coin and inspect the FG initials. Remember, you're looking for a sharper G, and it should be much closer to the building. If you think you've got the error, don't scream just yet. Get it authenticated by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. These guys will tell you if it's legit and what condition it's in. That grading is what separates a penny worth $1 from one worth a down payment on a yacht. Years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. We found this rusted tin can full of old coins. He told me to just dump them or spend them. But being the coin nerd I am, I pocketed a few interesting ones. One was a 1988 penny that looked shiny and clean. Fast forward a few months. I got curious, looked it up, checked the reverse, and it had the wrong FG. I swear my heart skipped a beat, but here's where I blew it. I showed it to a buddy of mine, who said, "Oh, that's nothing," and I believed him. I didn't send it in. I didn't grade it. I spent it at a gas station for a pack of gum and a bottle of water. Later that year, I found out that coin was likely one of the valuable ones. Maybe not the $1.7 million version, but even a lower grade one could have fetched $10,000 or more. Lesson learned. Never trust a friend who says, "It's nothing," when you're holding history in your hands. Alright, before we wrap up, let's go over a few strategies if you're serious about hunting for treasure in your spare change. If it's pre-2000 and copper colored, it deserves at least a second look. Double dies, repunched mint marks, transitional designs. These are the gold mines. A loop, coin scale, and microscope will pay for themselves if you hit the jackpot. You'd be amazed how many people are trading tips and even buying coins right on Reddit or coin collector groups. Hold on to coins that look off, and always get a second opinion. Preferably not from your buddy who thinks Pokemon cards are a better investment. What looks like just another penny might be your ticket to a whole new lifestyle. The 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with the reverse of 1989 is a true gem, a millionaire in disguise, hiding in plain sight. Check your pockets. Check your couch cushions. Heck, check that old piggy bank you haven't touched since 1995. Because one penny, just one, could change everything. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that are secretly worth a fortune, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop weekly tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth real money. No fluff, no clickbait, and hey, if you ever find one of these $1,000,000 pennies, come back and drop a comment. Just don't forget who told you about it first. Hey there coin lovers, treasure hunters, and everyone who's ever checked under the couch cushions for some spare change and found a mysterious little copper penny. Let me ask you something right now. Have you ever looked at a regular OL penny and thought, it's just 1 cent, toss it in the jar? Because if you did that with a 2015 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, you might have just thrown away $1.6 million. Imagine this. You're at the gas station, buying a soda and some jerky. The cashier gives you back some change and there it is, a shiny little penny. You sigh and think, great, another useless coin. But what if that little coin, with no mint mark and a big OL Lincoln staring back at you, was your golden ticket? Stick around, because in this video we're diving deep into why the 2015 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is so valuable, how to spot one, what makes it so rare, and how you could be sitting on a tiny copper fortune. Plus, I'll share a story of how I almost spent one of these bad boys at a vending machine. Yep. True story. Still haunts me. 501 to 10:00 BA cup of coffee, maybe a magnifying glass, and get ready to check those coin jars, because today, we're making sense out of millions. Well, let's start with the basics. The US Mint struck billions of pennies in 2015. Most came from Philadelphia and Denver. The ones from Denver have a little D mint mark. The ones from Philadelphia? Traditionally, they don't have a mint mark. There's a particular die variety of the 2015 no mint mark penny that's driving collectors wild. It's not about the mint mark, it's about the errors, metal composition, and strike anomalies that make certain 2015 pennies worth a small fortune. What we're talking about here is a die clash, off-metal strike, and a few double die errors all rolled into one insanely rare coin. Think of it like the triple threat of penny errors. And it's real. It exists. And it's worth a whole lot more than 1 cent simple. Extreme rarity, paired with a dramatic error, and near-perfect condition. One of the most famous known 2015 no-mint mark pennies was struck on the planchet of a dime. Yep, instead of using a copper-plated zinc blank for a penny, the mint accidentally struck it on a dime blank. Now let me tell you, that's not the kind of mistake that slips through the cracks every day. That's a once-in-a-generation, 1 in a billion kind of flub. Combine that with the fact that this error coin was graded MS-68 by PCGS, which basically means it was in near-perfect condition when found, and you've got a collector's dream. And as we all know, coin collectors love rare errors almost as much as they love breathing. Only one known specimen of this exact error exists in this grade, which is what shot the value up to $1.6 million in a private sale. And you better believe that more people are out there searching for a second one. That's why the humble 2015 Lincoln penny has become a household name among collectors. Now let's get practical. You're probably asking, okay, cool, but how do I know if I have one? Like we said, that's standard for Philadelphia pennies. So this alone doesn't make it rare. A regular penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But the error penny struck on a dime planchet weighs less, closer to 2.27 grams, smaller diameter. Because it's struck on a dime blank, the coin will be slightly smaller than a normal penny. Lincoln's shoulders might be cut off, the rim might look off-center, or you might see parts of the design missing. Look for doubling around the date or lettering, or a ghostly image from die clashes. Also, if you've got a digital scale, bust it out. And if you've got coin tongs or a loop, now's the time to go full treasure hunter mode. And if you think you've got a suspicious penny, don't clean it. Take it straight to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A couple years ago, I was at the office vending machine, trying to buy a Snickers bar. I was 3 cents short. So I dug into my wallet, pulled out a few coins from my change stash, and boom, 3 pennies. Now I'm not proud of this, but I was in a sugar haze. I dropped those 3 pennies into the slot without thinking twice. Got my Snickers. Thought I won. A week later, I'm watching a video about rare 2015 penny errors and it hit me, one of the coins I used had that strange smaller size. I remembered it was shiny, but oddly shiny, almost like it didn't belong. That penny's gone now. Who knows, maybe it's in some machine in Ohio. But ever since that day, I check every single coin that hits my palm, because you never forget the penny that got away. Seriously, you'd be amazed what people spend without knowing. Get a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, you need to see those tiny details. Weight anomalies are the #1 way to spot off-metal strikes. Grouping helps spot patterns and rare errors. Coin forums and Facebook groups are goldmines of info. A red book or coin error guide is worth every penny, pun fully intended. That unassuming little penny in your pocket could be worth more than a Lamborghini. Heck, it could buy you a house. Or at least an island of your own in the middle of a lake. The 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, when struck with the right kind of error and in top-grade condition, has proven itself to be one of the most valuable modern coins out there. In your couch, your car's cup holder, that dusty old jar in the kitchen. All it takes is a few minutes, a sharp eye, and a little knowledge to possibly uncover a life-changing coin. And if you found today's video helpful, fun, and just a little bit inspiring, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give the video a big thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to discover coins worth money. That I've got more videos coming with tips, values, and real-life stories of people just like you finding coins worth thousands, even millions. Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel where we talk about old coins that could turn your pocket change into a payday bigger than a Powerball ticket. If you've ever thought that the pennies rattling around in your junk drawer are worthless, you might want to think again. Because today, we're diving deep into one simple little coin that could change your life. I'm talking about the 1978 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, a plain old penny that, believe it or not, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. You heard that right. A coin you probably tossed in a tip jar without a second thought could actually pay off your mortgage, buy you a beach house, or fund that dream retirement in Florida with Mai Tais every morning. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions and raiding your kid's piggy bank, hang tight. Because in the next 40 minutes, we're going to unpack exactly what makes this particular penny so incredibly valuable. We'll break down the history, the errors, the condition factors, and most importantly, how you can spot one hiding in plain sight. Plus, I'll share a little personal story about how I almost threw one of these rare beauties into a Coinstar machine and nearly missed out on the biggest payday of my life. Alright, so let's rewind the clock a bit. The year is 1978. Gas was cheap, disco was in, and a gallon of milk cost less than a cup of coffee does today. And over at the US Mint, they were cranking out Lincoln pennies like pancakes at a Sunday buffet. Now, in 1978, pennies were still being made out of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This is important, because just a few years later in 1982, the Mint switched to a cheaper copper-coated zinc core to save money. But back in '78, we were still dealing with the good stuff. Millions of these pennies were minted, mostly in Philadelphia, which didn't put a mint mark on its coins back then. So technically, all 1978 no-mint mark pennies came from Philly. But that alone doesn't make them valuable. So what does make them worth a fortune? Let's dig deeper. Okay, here's where things get spicy. The real treasure lies in the errors. In the world of coin collecting, errors are like typos on a $100 bill, rare, accidental, and worth a lot of money if you've got the right one. With the 1978 no-mint mark penny, there are a few types of errors that can bump its value from 1 cent to $1.5 million. This is when the front of the coin, good old Abe's face, the date, and the word Liberty, is struck twice by the die, but just a little misaligned. You'll see doubling on the letters and sometimes on Lincoln's profile. If you've got this in near mint condition, jackpot. Some of these pennies were stamped off-center, leaving part of the design missing. If 30% or more of the design is off the planchet but you can still see the date, that's another high-value winner. These are like birthmarks for coins. Little raised lines or blobs where the die used to stamp the coin had a crack or chip. The uglier the error, the more a collector might love it. Some no-mint mark coins are missing parts of the design due to filled dyes or grease. If your 1978 penny looks like it's been smudged by a toddler with a marker, you might want to get it checked out. Now combine one or more of these errors with a coin that's been well preserved, and bam, that's how we get up to $1.50 million. If your 1978 no-mint mark penny looks like it's been run over by a lawn mower, it's probably not going to make you rich. But if it's in mint state condition, we're talking shiny, crisp, no scratches, no wear, then it's a whole different ball game. Coin collectors use a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. A penny rated MS 67 or higher is what we're aiming for. That's the kind of penny that makes collectors drool and auction houses buzz. These top-tier coins are often found in old coin rolls, forgotten change jars, or even inherited collections. So if grandma left you a box of worthless pennies, maybe don't throw them in the Salvation Army bin just yet. About 5 years ago, I was cleaning out an old toolbox my dad left me. You know the kind, metal, rusty hinges, full of screws, bolts, and a couple of stray pennies. One caught my eye. It was a 1978 penny with no mint mark, and it looked weird. Now, I'm not gonna lie. At the time, I almost threw it into a Coinstar machine. But something told me to take a closer look. I busted out the magnifying glass, did a little Googling, and long story short, turns out it had a double die error and was graded at MS66 that I ended up getting just over $12,000 for it at auction. Not bad for something sitting under a screwdriver for 30 years, right? Now imagine if it had been a higher grade. That's the kind of coin that goes for 6, even 7 figures. So what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate your spare change. So you might be wondering, alright, I've got a 1978 penny. Now what? Use a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of doubling, cracks, or off-center striking. Pay close attention to Abe's face, the date, and the lettering. That's a good sign. Compare it to photos online of graded MS65 and higher coins. A genuine copper 1978 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, you might have a composition error, which is even more rare. If it looks promising, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade is what gives your coin the big value. Once it's graded, you can sell it through coin auctions, eBay, or even private collectors. Just make sure you do your homework. You don't want to let $1 million penny go for $100. The 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is a perfect reminder that sometimes, the greatest treasures come in the smallest packages. One little coin, a printing mistake, and a bit of patience, and suddenly you're holding something worth $1.50 million. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm heading back to my change jar after this. Who knows what's in there just waiting to be discovered? So if you've got a dusty coin collection, a drawer full of old pennies, or even just some spare change jingling in your car's cup holder, go take a look. You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to spot valuable coins, build your collection, and maybe even get rich off pocket change, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Don't forget to like the video, share it with a friend who needs to check their pennies, and drop a comment below if you've ever found something rare in your spare change. Hey, fellow penny pinchers and treasure hunters. Let me hit you with a question that might just shake the lint out of your pockets. What if I told you that a regular old penny from 2005, yes, that one you probably tossed in your car's cup holder, is worth up to $1.3 million today? Yep. You heard me right. A single Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, with no mint mark, that most folks wouldn't give a second glance to, might just buy you a brand new house, a fancy car, and still leave enough change for a steak dinner. So if you're thinking about chucking your spare change into a tip jar or ignoring that dusty coin jar under the couch, you might want to pump the brakes. Because today, we're diving deep into the story of the 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that's making collectors go absolutely bananas. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know how to spot this millionaire coin hiding in plain sight, but you'll also hear how I almost spent one at a gas station. Yeah. True story. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's hunt down some hidden fortune together. Alright, let's break it down for the folks in the back. The 2005 penny features our good old pal Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, the front, for those new to the hobby. Flip it over, and you get the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Nothing looks out of the ordinary, right? But here's the kicker. Some of these 2005 pennies were minted without a mint mark. That means they don't have the little letter that usually tells you where the coin was made. Normally, you'd see a small D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But this one? Nada. Zilch. Nothing. Now you might be thinking, big whoop. A missing letter? But in the world of coin collecting, tiny differences make a huge impact. Coins without mint marks from 2005 shouldn't really exist. At least, not on purpose. So if you've got one that's genuine and in solid condition, especially in high grades like MS67 or MS68, congratulations, friend. You might be holding onto one of the rarest modern pennies out there. These coins are so rare because of a possible minting error or die variety, meaning a batch may have been struck using incorrect or worn dies that didn't stamp the mint mark correctly. Or, in some bizarre fluke, They skipped it altogether. Think of it like getting a baseball card of Babe Ruth, but with a spelling mistake. Collectors lose their minds over these oddities. Now let's talk condition. If your 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny looks like it survived a tornado, it's probably not going to fetch much, but if it's shiny, crisp, and in mint or near-mint condition, we're talking about serious value. I'm talking about $100,000 to $1.3 million, depending on grade, luster, and rarity. That's not a typo. $1.3 million. For one penny, make sure to check for sharp edges and fine details, strong color and minimal scratches, no signs of circulation or wear. Slabbing the coin, getting it officially graded by a service like PCGS or NGC, can skyrocket its credibility and value. A few years ago, I was digging through my glove box at a gas station. Needed 47 cents for a cup of coffee. I found some dusty pennies, handed them to the cashier, and drove off. No big deal, right? Fast forward a week. I'm reading an article about valuable modern pennies. The picture shows a 2005 penny, no mint mark, just like the one I had seen. I swear to you, my soul left my body. I raced back to that gas station like a man on a mission. Asked the cashier if she remembered me, offered her $10 to check the drawer. She thought I was nuts. Here's your penny hunting cheat sheet. Flip your 2005 penny over. Look under the year on the obverse, head side. No little letter. You're in business. Look for sharp details and minimal scratches. Compare to known images online from certified auctions. If in doubt, get it authenticated and graded. Pro tip: use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Your eyes might miss something tiny that's worth a fortune. Okay, let's say you hit the jackpot. Here's what you do: don't clean it. Seriously. No soap, no water, no scrubbing. That can ruin the value. Place it in a soft cloth or coin flip. Keep it safe, get it graded. PCGS or NGC are your best bets. Consider auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They specialize in rare coin sales and can fetch top dollar. You could go from rummaging through couch cushions to rolling in luxury. Now while we're on the topic, keep your eyes peeled for other valuable pennies like 1982 D small date copper, 1992 close AM, 1995 double die, 1970 S small date. You never know which little copper coin could change your whole life. Point 8. Coin collecting tips for beginners. If today's your first step into the coin world, welcome aboard. Start by checking your spare change, visiting coin shops and local shows, watching videos like this one, picking up a US coin guidebook, investing in a loupe and coin folder. Alright, treasure hunters, we've gone deep into the world of the 2005 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and hopefully, you're eyeing your change jar with a little more curiosity now. Just imagine, you could have over $1 million sitting in an old piggy bank right now. That's not just fun trivia. That's life-changing money. So next time you hear that clink of a penny hitting the floor, don't ignore it. That might be the sound of your early retirement calling. Before you head off digging through drawers, do me one favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that little notification bell so you never miss a video. I'm constantly dropping coin hunting tips, rare finds, and personal stories that'll keep you one step ahead of the game. Leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you think you might have one right now. I read every single one. And who knows, maybe I'll feature your story in the next video. Alright, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a penny in your pocket and thought, well, this thing ain't worth the metal it's made of? Well, what if I told you there's a tiny copper coin, minted in 1969 with a little OLD under the date, that could be worth, drumroll please, $1.4 million? Yes, I'm talking about the 1969 D. Abraham Lincoln penny, a regular-looking coin that's turning ordinary folks into millionaires, quietly, unexpectedly, and honestly, kind of hilariously. So, grab a cup of coffee, check the junk drawer, flip that piggy bank upside down, and let's dive deep into this penny that's anything but 1 cent. Oh, and stick around to the end. I'll tell you a personal story about the time I accidentally spent a valuable penny at a gas station and what I learned the hard way. So, the 1969 D. Lincoln penny isn't flashy. It's not dipped in gold or diamond studded. It's just good old copper with that familiar honest face of Abe Lincoln on the front. Now, the D stands for Denver Mint. That year, the Denver Mint made over 4 billion Lincoln cents. So how on earth can one of these be worth more than a Lamborghini, a luxury condo, and a steak dinner for every night of the year? Well, not all pennies are created equal. That's where things get juicy. Here's the deal. The 1969 D Lincoln penny that's making headlines isn't just rare, it's got a very specific error and exceptional condition going for it. Some of these coins have double die obverse errors. That's when the coin die accidentally stamps the design twice with a slight shift. It creates a doubling effect, especially noticeable on the "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date. It's like Lincoln had too much coffee that morning and decided to double down on his message. While the 1969, San Francisco Mint, double die error is better known and recognized, the 1969 D is insanely rare when it comes with pristine sharp doubling and mint luster. Combine that with perfect or near perfect grading, we're talking MS 65 and up, and you've got yourself a 1-cent coin that could be auctioned for over $1.40 million. One of the earliest known finds of a valuable 1969 D penny came from a collector who had absolutely no clue what he had done. He was going through rolls of pennies, looking for wheats like most of us do, and boom, he spots something odd with the lettering. Send it off for grading, and next thing you know, he's in headlines with a coin worth more than most folks' retirement accounts. Can you imagine going to the grocery store, handing over change, and later realizing you gave away $1.4 million for a pack of gum and a Gatorade? Alright, now here's where you need to grab that magnifying glass, your bifocals, or ask your grandkid with sharp eyes to take a look. You want to look for sharp, clear doubling in the lettering and date, a strong mint luster. Shine, no major scratches, or wear a visible and bold D mint mark under the date, a solid centering. Off-center strikes can reduce value, and of course, for serious evaluation, send it off to PCGS or NGC. These are the top coin grading services. In recent years, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen these pennies go for astronomical prices. One verified 1969 D double die obverse penny sold for a mind-blowing $1.4 million. That's not folklore. That's a cold, hard, copper fact. Why so high? Because collectors will pay big bucks for a combo of error, rarity, high-grade condition, historical significance, old coffee tins full of coins, jars at grandma's house, even that weird drawer in your kitchen where batteries and rubber bands live together in harmony. Persistence pays off. People have found million-dollar coins in places as random as couch cushions and thrift store jars. So let me tell you my own story. A few years ago, I had just learned about rare pennies. I was all excited, telling my buddy at the gas station about how valuable some of them were. I reached in my pocket, paid for snacks, and tossed the change in the tray. Later that night, I was going through a photo of the coins I had, and I kid you not, I spotted what looked like a double date on a 1969 D penny that I had in my hand just hours earlier. I rushed back to that gas station like a man possessed. Dug through the change tray like a raccoon in a dumpster. No luck. That penny was gone. Always check before you spend. I still think about that penny, and that potential $1.4 million I might have given away for a Snickers bar. That tiny copper coin rattling around in your kitchen drawer might just be your ticket to living mortgage-free, traveling the world, or finally buying that fishing boat you've been eyeing since 1983. The 1969 D Lincoln penny may be small, but it's mighty in value, history, and collector demand. And if you've got a jar of change collecting dust somewhere in your home, maybe, just maybe, today's the day you discover $1 million surprise. Now, if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, or just laughed at my misfortune at the gas station, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, tap the like, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more treasure hunts, coin tips, and stories that could turn your spare change into serious cash. I've got more secrets, more valuable coins, and more wild stories coming your way. So stay tuned, stay curious, and keep checking your change. Hey folks, grab your coffee, sit back, and listen close, because what I'm about to tell you might just change the way you look at pennies forever. You know those little copper coins rattling around in your car's cup holder, stuck under the couch cushions, or tossed in a jar marked rainy day fund? Yeah, you heard me right. Not 100. Not 1,000. But $1.2 million. And we're not talking about some ancient Roman coin dug up with a metal detector in the middle of a battlefield. Nope. We're talking about a 1968 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That little copper beauty hiding in plain sight. So if you're someone who casually drops change into a jar without giving it a second thought, it might be time to rethink that strategy. Because one of those coins could be the key to your next vacation home, sports car, or early retirement. Now let's jump into this treasure tale and crack open the fascinating, surprising, and yes, very profitable story of the 1968 Lincoln penny. Alright, let's roll the clock back to 1968. Nixon was president, the Beatles were still topping charts, and the world was buzzing with change. In the middle of it all, the U.S. Mint in San Francisco quietly produced millions of Lincoln pennies, each stamped with that tiny S beneath the date. They weren't made with gold, diamonds, or ancient artifacts from Atlantis. Just plain oil, copper and zinc. But among the massive batches produced that year, a few anomalies slipped through the cracks. Some were struck with unusual errors. Some had rare dye varieties. And others were preserved in almost perfect, untouched condition, what coin collectors call proof or mint state. Combine those elements, and boom, you've got yourself a coin worth more than most people's houses. I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny, how can it be worth over $1 million? There are a few ingredients that turn this coin from pocket change into jaw-dropping treasure. Even though millions were minted, very few were kept in pristine condition. Most were spent, scratched, and tossed around in pockets and vending machines. But one coin, graded MS-69 red by PCGS, surfaced in near-perfect condition. That's like finding a 50-year-old car with 0 miles on it and the factory plastic still on the seats. Some rare 1968 pennies have a mirrored surface that looks almost proof-like. These coins were struck with such precision and sharpness that collectors go nuts for them. Lincoln cents are one of the most collected coins in the U.S. People grow up saving them in little blue books, hunting for missing years. So anything rare, especially from a unique mint year like '68, skyrockets in value. When one of these rare pennies popped up at a coin auction, bidding went through the roof. We're talking serious collectors throwing around serious cash, hence that legendary $1.2 million price tag. Now let me tell you a quick story. It was a Sunday morning, the kind of morning where you walk around in mismatched socks, sip your coffee, and try to ignore the chores staring at you from every corner of the house. I had this old pickle jar full of coins. Been dumping change in there for years, quarters, dimes, nickels, and yeah, a ton of pennies. One day, I decide to roll up my sleeves and go through it. I figured maybe I'd find a silver dime or something mildly interesting. But there it was, a shiny 1968 penny, just chillin' near the bottom like it had no idea what it was worth. My heart did a little somersault. I grabbed a magnifying glass like some detective in a 1940s noir film and inspected it closely. The luster, the detail, it looked minty fresh. I sent it off to be graded. Now, it didn't come back $1 million gem, but it still pulled in a sweet little stack of cash, enough to cover a family vacation and then some. And that's when it hit me, most people are sitting on treasure and don't even know it. So, here's what you need to be looking for in your change or old coin stash: mint mark, that little S under the year 1968. No S? It's not the one. Pennies are more valuable than brown or red-brown. Red means the copper has that fresh, mint luster. Coins with no scratches, no wear, sharp edges, those are money makers. Look for things like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing letters. If you find a 1968 that checks all these boxes, it might be time to do a little happy dance. Don't just toss your coin on eBay and hope for the best. You want it professionally graded. 2 top services are: send your coin in. If it comes back MS-67 or higher, you could be staring at serious 5- or 6-figure offers. If it hits MS 69 red, you might want to sit down and call your accountant. After it's graded, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are your go-to places. These are where serious collectors hang out. Not the guy offering $20 on Facebook Marketplace. A 1968 Lincoln penny might look like just another coin in your change, but under the right conditions, it could be worth $1.2 million. That's not just lucky, it's life-changing. So before you let your kids toss your spare change into the Coinstar machine at the grocery store, maybe go through it first. Maybe even twice, because the truth is, hidden fortune doesn't always come wrapped in gold or diamonds. Sometimes, it's small, copper-colored, and has Abraham Lincoln staring off into the distance like he knows something you don't. Go grab that coin jar. Look for the 1968 clean off your glasses. Get a magnifying glass if you have to. Start digging, and hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more insider secrets on coins worth money, strategies to sell, and stories from regular folks turning spare change into serious wealth, then hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where your spare change could literally make you a millionaire. That's right, today we're diving deep into a little copper coin that might be hiding in your drawer, your pocket, or that dusty old jar in the garage. It's the 1971 Abraham Lincoln penny. Now hang on, don't roll your eyes just yet, because believe it or not, this tiny coin has sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, one penny, $1,100,000. Now before you run off to dig through your old piggy bank, stick around. In this video, we're gonna explore exactly why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, how to spot the big money versions, and a few hilarious and personal stories about coin hunting that'll have you both laughing and ready to hit up every coin jar you can find. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's uncover why the 1971 penny could be your golden ticket. Let's take it back for a second to 1971. Bell bottoms were big, disco was booming, Nixon was in the White House, and gas was, like 36 cents a gallon. And the US Mint was churning out Lincoln pennies like crazy. Now here's where it gets good. The San Francisco Mint, identified by the little s below the date, produced proof coins, which are high-quality collector pieces. But some of those 1971 proof pennies slipped out with serious mistakes. And mistake coins, in the coin world, are kind of like typos in a best-selling book: rare, valuable, and super collectible. Well, it's a mix of things. Some were struck on the wrong planchets, like dimes or foreign coin blanks. Others had double dies, where the design is stamped twice, making the letters and numbers look blurry or shadowed. And then you've got condition, graded a perfect PR 70 or near it, with no scratches, no nicks, and flawless shine at 10:01 to 2000 hours, combination. It's like hitting a jackpot in Vegas while sipping on a cold drink, and someone hands you a pizza. Now let's break down what you need to look for if you're hoping your 1971 penny could be worth millions. That little s below Lincoln's bust. No S means it's not from San Francisco, and without that, you're not hitting the $1 million level. Bust out a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom. Look closely at the date, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." If it looks like there's a shadow or a double image, you may have a double die penny, and that's where things start to get exciting. Proof coins are extra shiny with mirror-like backgrounds and frosted details. They're struck multiple times with special dies, which makes them pop. If it looks like a regular circulated penny, it's probably not a proof coin. But if it sparkles like a vampire in a teen romance movie, hello, potential treasure. Even the rarest coin won't fetch top dollar if it looks like it went through a garbage disposal. Coins are graded from 1 to 70. You're looking for something close to PR 68, 69, or even 70 if you want to get into the six-figure range. About a year ago, my cousin Dave came over bragging about this old coffee can full of coins he found while cleaning out his late uncle's basement. He was all like, "Bet I'm gonna find something worth a fortune." So naturally, I got curious. We dumped out the can, and let me tell you, it was like stepping into a time machine. There were pennies from the 40s, wheat cents, even a couple of silver dimes. Then, bam, we spot this shiny little 1971 penny. My eyes went wide. I said, Dave, this could be it. This could be your ticket to early retirement. We ran to the kitchen, grabbed a magnifying glass, and I swear it looked like the Liberty had a little double vision. Our hands were shaking. We sent it off to a grading company, waited like impatient kids on Christmas Eve, and, turns out it graded a PR 66. Not quite the $1 million hit, but still worth a few $100. Dave still keeps it in a plastic holder and shows it off at barbecues like it's the Declaration of Independence. But here's the thing, it got us hunting. We now check every coin, every time. And it's fun. It's like treasure hunting, but you don't have to get dirty or dig a hole in the backyard. A perfect PR 70 1971 Lincoln penny with a rare double die or struck on the wrong planchet. That's where the magic number of $1.1 million comes in. That coin went to auction and had collectors foaming at the mouth. One guy even flew across the country just to see it in person. Prices like this are rare, but they happen. And the coin market, believe it or not, is hotter than ever. With inflation, digital investing, and the rise of alternative assets, more and more people are looking at coins not just as collectibles but as investments. So if you're sitting on some old change, or your grandpa left you a box of coins, now's the time to go digging. You don't need to be a historian or a numismatist, you just need curiosity and maybe a $10 magnifying glass, and don't get fooled by shady buyers or pawn shops that offer $5 for something worth $5,000. Do your research, get it graded by professionals, and understand the value. So here's the bottom line. The 1971 Lincoln penny may just be one of the most underrated treasures in your change jar. Whether it's a flawless proof, a double die variety, or one of those wild mint errors that make collectors drool, this coin is no joke. A little patience, a little knowledge, and some good old-fashioned curiosity could turn your everyday penny into a life-changing payday. And even if you don't find the $1 million one, you're gonna have fun trying. Now if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another episode about coins that are worth way more than you'd ever expect. And hey, drop a comment if you've got a 1971 penny or if you've ever found a coin you thought was just pocket change but turned out to be a jackpot. I read every single one.